Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet one of these little guys. I called them sun plushies, but to be honest, this one looks more like a star and this one kind of looks like a flower, but you get the idea, and I still think they're super cute. And before we begin, I just want to acknowledge that these were definitely inspired by the jellycat stuffy. I believe it's called a Musable Sun. It is the cutest thing ever, and it is my goal in life to try and recreate as many of the jellycat stuffies in crochet form as I can. We're gonna start with our materials, and I know this is the most boring part of every crochet tutorial, so we're gonna go rapid fire. I have my yarn, I use Bernat blanket. You're gonna need a crochet hook. I'm using a 6mm hook because it is the size that fits with my yarn, scissors, stitch marker, and a needle. And you'll also need safety eyes or whatever you prefer to use. Let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the body, and you're gonna start by doing 6 single crochet into a magic circle. 6, and then you can go ahead and just close up your magic ring. So you should have 6 single crochet total, and then our next round we are going to do a round of increases all the way around. So 2 single crochets into each of the stitches around the circle to bring us up to a total of 12. This yarn really does not like me today. And 12 single crochets total for the round. Round number 3, we are going to be doing a single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the next stitch all the way around for a total of 18. So that was my 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So 2 in the same stitch, then a single crochet, and then 2 in the same stitch, and we're going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 18. 18. Our next round, round 4, we are going to be doing 2 single crochets and then an increase. So that'll bring us up to a total of 24. We're just increasing by 6 each round. I'm sure you can sense the pattern. So that's going to be 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. 4. That'll bring you up to a total of 24. And then for our next round, our 5th round, same idea. We're going to be doing 3 single crochets and then an increase. So that's 1. Here is 2, 3, and then your increase for number 4 and 5. And you're going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 30 stitches. And 30. Now that that's all done, for the next 3 rounds, we are just going to do 30 single crochet around each time for the next 3 rounds. Now that you're done, you should have something that looks roughly like this bowl shape, and now we are going to start to decrease. So we're going to basically be doing the opposite of what we did earlier. So this first round is going to be 3 single crochets and then a decrease. 2, 3, and then a decrease for 4. And finally, we have 24. This round is when I like to add the eyes in just before it gets too small to reach inside to put the backings on, and we do them in between round 7 and 8. For this next round, we're going to continue decreasing. So this time it's only going to be 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So we got 1 there. We have 2, and then each of the front loops for this one makes 3. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 18 stitches. And that should bring you to a total of 18. This next round, we're following the same process. It's going to be just 1 single crochet and then a decrease this time to bring us down to a total of 12. And now is where you're going to want to stuff this. And you're going to want to be careful to not overstuff it, because we want this to lay relatively flat and not be super round or more round than it already is. Now we have a little ball shape, and for our final round, we are just gonna do 6 decreases around. Now you can cut your yarn, making sure to leave a tail to sew this hole closed. All I do is insert my hook into the front loop of each stitch, so that is just the top one that's facing you, not both. And then if you go all the way around, you should have 6 loops that it goes into. Now you should be able to just pull it shut, and it should leave no hole there. And then I like to just go up and down a couple times to secure it and hide anything. And if there's a little bump, I like to just sew over top of it and pull it really tight so it kind of just pushes into the circle. All done, and you should just have a nice little ball like this. Now we're gonna start on the rays, but this is where you have a bit of a decision to make. So you can either make it like this one I made with 5 rays, or this one with 7 rays. So for the rays, we're gonna start with a magic circle again, but this time instead of doing 6, we are just gonna do 4 single crochet into the magic ring. So let's see, we have 1, 4, and now you can pull your magic ring shut. Now for the second round, we're gonna do a single crochet and then an increase. Since there's only 4 in the ring, it is gonna feel like a big gap in between stitches, but I swear it's normal. So that was our 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch, we're gonna do an increase, and then we're only gonna have to repeat that 2 times because there's only 4 stitches we can go into. This next round is just gonna be 2 single crochets and then an increase. Finally, the last 2 rounds for these little rays is just going to be 8 single crochets around. So just 8 and then another 8. When you're done, it should look something like this. I usually like to stick my crochet hook up in the end just to make sure that the point is all the way up. And then, like I said, you can cut it off, leaving a pretty long tail so you can sew it on there properly. And then come back and meet me here once you've made either 4 more or 6 more, depending on if you wanted a total of 5 or 7 rays. Now, the placement of these rays is honestly up to you, but my biggest tip would just be to start with one in the middle and then try and space them around from there. You can totally just hold them up and see if you like how it looks, but also I'll show you how to sew on one of them, and then you can just repeat the process for all the other ones. First, I'm just gonna figure out where I want this one to go. I'm gonna go with about here, so I'm just gonna insert my needle, and I'm gonna come up at the next stitch behind, if you can see there, so that I can go into the next stitch on the ray here. So we're gonna pull that tight, and then my sewing method is just in the next stitch on the ray, I'm gonna go through and pull it nice and tight, and then I'm gonna go down into the body into the same stitch that we just came out of, just like that, and then so just this stitch here that we were just in, and then just move it over to the next one. And I like to repeat that process all the way around. And then once I'm a bit over halfway is when I will stuff the ray, just so that I don't lose any stuffing or make a mess. But you do want a bit of stuffing in there just so that they have some form to them and they will stay upright how you want. So again, we're gonna go back into the stitch I came out of, and then we're gonna go up into the next one, and we're gonna make sure this is situated how I want it. Okay, now that I'm almost all the way around and there's just a little gap here, I'm gonna pop in some stuffing, and then we're gonna finish off sewing it shut. This looks crazy, but now that you've got the first one on there, it's your chance to kind of position them and see where you want the other ones to go. Since we are adding little feet later on, you'll want to keep this bottom part open. Okay, I'm halfway done, and just to show you, you can see I have 2 of the strings for one coming out of the same end, and then you can just knot them together. These ends are a little short for this. And then if I just grab my scissors, you can kind of just push it back inside. So now I'm just gonna finish the other half, and I will be back in a second. Okay, I have attached all 7 of the little rays. Honestly, if you wanted to make one more and stick it at the bottom, you could honestly have a flower, but right now I'm gonna show you how to make the little legs, because I think it just adds so much character to the little guy. So to make the little feet, we're gonna start with 4 single crochet in a magic ring. 4, and you can close that up. See, this yarn actually likes me. Then for the second round, we're just gonna do increases all the way around. So you're gonna do 4 increases total for a total of 8 single crochets for the round. And 8. Then for this next round, we're gonna do 2 single crochet. So we have 1 single crochet, single crochet. I swear my hook's not normally this squeaky. I'm sitting on top of a vent. And then we're gonna do a decrease. So 2 single crochets and then a decrease. And then we're gonna repeat that one more time and it'll bring you down to a total of 6 for the round. Then once you've done that and you have this little bowl shape, the next 2 rounds are just gonna be 6 single crochet around. Once you're done with that, you should have something that looks roughly like this. And then what you're gonna wanna do is just squish it down completely flat with your hook on the side. And we're gonna put some single crochet through here. So we're gonna go through the front and the back stitches. First one here, we're gonna go through and we're gonna stick it through all the way to the back. So your stitches should line up so that you can go through both. And since there should have been 6 stitches across the top, we're gonna do 3 single crochet to close it. And then as you can see, now it is closed and nice and flat, so it'll be easy to sew on. So all you're gonna wanna do now is cut off a long tail so we can sew it on, and you're gonna wanna make 1 more so that we have 2 little feet. Honestly, these are the easiest part to throw on because there's only 3 stitches to go through. And what I like to do is just lay them against the bottom, and I put them somewhere around down here, and you can just kind of line it up with how it looks on the front so that it sticks out a bit and looks nice and round. To sew them onto the bottom, I did the same process that we did for the blades, but only across these back 3 stitches. And then my trick here is once you're done, come up somewhere around the front of the body, about halfway up to where the foot will go here. And then what I like to do is if you look at the foot here, you can kind of just find the middle and just insert your hook through one of the stitches like so. And then when you pull it, it will kind of hold it up against the body so it goes in that nice sitting position. And then just like the raise, I pulled my remaining tail out a stitch at the back. Now the little feet are attached, and the last thing we have to add is the smile. So for this, I just take some thin black yarn, I cut off a little strip. You put your yarn in somewhere on the side, pull it up where you want your smile to start. Make sure you leave a little tail here so you can tie it off at the end. Just pull it over to make a little line across. Go down in the middle, just like so. And then you're just gonna go up underneath this line, and you're gonna go back down into the same stitch that you just went into, and then you can pull it back out into the one you started in so you can tie it off. You should have the rough shape, and then what I like to do is just go under with my needle, and you can rearrange it and wiggle it around until it looks just the way you want it to. And that is it. You now have your very own little sun plushie, however you decided to make it, whatever color you decided to make it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, tag me if you make one of your own. I love to see them, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching. See ya.